Welcome back, guys. Welcome back to another video. Remember when I was gonna talk about SpongeBob? Like I had like a was it SpongeBob? No, I was talking about I think it was a SpongeBob. Well, it's a SpongeBob slash Nickelodeon thing. I talked about that last week. I'm actually uploading the animated video right now, because that's like something I wanted to talk about. I actually have quite a bit of news-related videos that are going to be kind of disgusting. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get a bunch of them done or not this week. I don't know. I kind of rather that's kind of why I'm actually at the point too, or I'm just like, you know what, like, why not just make them thoughts, but I'm kind of still keeping them news-related videos, because if I were to do thoughts and theories, I kind of want to make them more interesting, So, yeah, but in today's video, we're going to be talking about, apparently, SpongeBob, taking over Nicktoons. It went from Nicktoons to now, Nick Spongebob. I thought it was called SpongeBob Tunes or something, or Sponge Tunes. No wonder why it wasn't showing up when I was looking it up on Google. I was trying to find it, but I couldn't find it for a second. I figured it would still show up, but Google's been acting very weird in the last few years. Well, it's been acting weird for a long time, but it's only gotten worse over time, so, kind of hate that, but it's what it is, I guess. I can't look up crap half the time anymore. I mean, I even talked about that, I think, in my SpongeBob reviews. I think I discussed that. I talked about how, I'm like looking up these titles, or not these dates on freaking Google, and it's like showing completely different dates than what I see on, the platforms. Like on Paramount Plus and all that, so, yeah, but before I get any further, please hit that like button and subscribe to my channel. You guys can also follow me on Instagram and Twitter. I'm still going to try to figure out what's going on with Twitter, but it's like I can't figure out, I want to start posting stuff on there, and I can't find any of that. And actually, I don't know, I've seen people like pop up on Instagram, but not Twitter, so, I don't know. I know people don't like Elon Musk, but I'm just like, to be fair, a lot of these, freaking companies have shitty people in it, so I'm just like, I don't know much about Elon Musk. I'm just going off what some people say. I don't know, he doesn't seem like that bad of a person, but then again, I'm just like, I don't really want to leave the platform to start a new one to deal with more chaos, so that's kind of why I'm just sticking with that, but, that said, though, if you guys don't like this kind of stuff, you guys can click off the videos. I do plan on doing some reviews. I don't know if I'll get any done this week, because I'm finishing up my Let's Plays on my, on my PS5. That, and I have 2 appointments this week. I'm going into town. I'm going into St. Louis today, possibly, if my mom doesn't decide to change her mind at the last minute, because she does that. And then, my dad's getting surgery tomorrow, too, so I'm trying to help out with the house, on top of me having problems with my medication. So it is crazy. It is just crazy. And, yeah, I think I'm going to probably make a video talking about it. I don't know if I'll talk about it right now or not, because I have to get some stuff done before I go. So, that said, though, that's pretty much all I have to say. So let's go ahead and talk about this. So basically, when I thought Nickelodeon was going to give other shows a chance and not focus as much on SpongeBob, apparently now they're making a whole freaking channel on SpongeBob. Yeah, they're making a whole channel on SpongeBob. So it's like Teen Titans Go, of the Nickelodeon universe, or like the channel where they focus on one show and all that, which I'm just like, SpongeBob, unlike Teen Titans Go, and Teen Titans Go does have its fans, which honestly, I don't really see why, I guess to be fair, there are some episodes that are good from Teen Titans Go, but a lot of the criticisms I, see on there, I kind of agree with. I kind of disagree with a lot of people who are defending the show, but I don't want to sound like I'm it sound like I'm criticizing people. People are right to have their own opinion, but I don't know, I see a lot more people kind of hating on Teen Titans Go than liking it. Even now, I think a lot of people are saying that people are starting to like the show. I don't think people are liking. I think people are just moving on, That's kind of why Cartoon Network is in decline, and not doing very good because of that show, and all that. And Nickelodeon's the same way. Nickelodeon's the same way. They have too much SpongeBob and all. And SpongeBob is a very popular show. It's very popular. And if Nickelodeon wants to make it their Mickey Mouse, that's fine, but give other shows a chance too, let audiences have other stuff to watch, and I think they're starting to do that. I still am going to say that, I think they're starting to do that because, if you go on Paramount Plus, which I know a lot of people don't have Paramount Plus, but if you go on there, they're not really talking about, there's not really as many advertisements for, they don't have as many advertisements for SpongeBob anymore. They do sometimes, but they pretty much are focusing on other shows now. When Paramount Plus first came out, they were heavily focusing on SpongeBob, but now I noticed that they're I've seen them do advertisements for Good Burger 2 and the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, franchise. And then I think they've done the Loud House too and all that. Not as much as the Loud House, but I think that they're at least, I think they're kind of realizing they can't just focus on one show. The problem is though, when they do this kind of stuff, that's the problem too. That could be why they made Nicktoons they turned Nicktoons into the Nick Spongebob. But still, I'm just Nicktoons, the whole point of Nicktoons is it was I was talking about how Nickelodeon is kind of like Cartoon Network, and they kind of turned it into a modern Cartoon Network where they focus on one show and one show only. That's kind of what they did with Nicktoons. So they did the same thing. They kind of took away kind of what made Nicktoons, like they do with Boomerang. My God, I'm still pissed at Warner Brothers and they fucking ruined Boomerang. They ruined Boomerang. They ruined the whole purpose of it. Boomerang's basically the new Cartoon Network. It's basically, it airs a bunch of modern shows and all that. Boomerang was known for, honestly, Boomerang kind of didn't really have much of an identity. I felt they kind of were throwing stuff at the wall to see what they wanted to do with Boomerang, because at first it was about Hanna-Barbera characters, and then it went to trying to be Hanna-Barbera character, shows and have characters and all that, to having also cancel Nickelodeon, Cartoon Network shows like Dexter's Lab and all that, and Powerpuff Girls, and then basically it became, what it is now, where they kind of took away the logo and all that on it. It really does suck. But this is kind of in a similar way. Now I don't know how long it'll be like this, but I feel that it's been kind of going with SpongeBob for a while now, but I just think it's kind of a big middle finger to people who grew up with Nicktoons, Now, but it's not going to be like this. I think by the end of the summer, it's going to go back to Nicktoons, so there's that. But, again, I think they're going to lose money here because, it's just to be fair, though, does anybody really watch cable anymore? Like, people are cutting streaming as it is because it's costing too much money. Now, I guess I've heard some people are going back to cable, but a lot of people are just cutting it all together and going back to physical media. They're going back to physical media. So I'm just like, are they gonna want to watch this because they could just get a lot of these episodes on, on DVD too. Like, you can buy literally the entire set of episodes on DVD. Like, you don't even need to worry about this. I guess to be fair though, I will say the cable, unlike a lot of these streaming platforms, I think the ads are much better. Like, I've watched it, the ads fucking suck. I will say streaming has ruined ads. Like, they have ruined advertisement. Like, even YouTube, the ads are fucking horrible. Like, they are horrible on YouTube. Like, they're like, they play too long, they play too many of them. So, like, when they're advertising something, it's like literally it's like too short to advertise anything and all that, and the ads have only been declining over time. And I think the same thing goes to the channels too. It's probably why, like, they've gotten more lazy with the channels. I think they've gotten more lazy with them because, people are not watching them, so I don't think they really want to put money into, their branding and all. The problem is that that's what's kind of killing a lot of these channels too. They need to bring back older stuff. Now, Nickelodeon, as we see here, brought back the Splat logo and all that, but I don't know, I haven't really watched Nickelodeon in a while, so I don't really remember, what it was like. It's been a little while since I watched it, but I remember it kind of not being like what it used to be either, but they did bring back the Splat logo, so I think Nickelodeon, at least is starting to care and starting to realize they need money and all that, and they're trying to bring back, stuff like this to bring back the older audience, which is good, they need to do that, and that's kind of the thing though. I think with other channels too, they need to remember Noggin too, not just Boomerang, but Noggin too. Remember Noggin or Playhouse Disney or something, Well, Playhouse Disney and Noggin are gone. They were replaced with Nick Jr. and Disney Jr. But I don't know, Playhouse Disney and Noggin were just the jam. Now I did like Nick Jr. too. Nick Jr. was pretty good. But for a while there, they kind of went downhill too. But Playhouse Disney was much better than Disney Jr. And then they do all this stuff, and I don't know. It's just kind of annoying. It is really annoying, and just I don't know. I'm just I want them to make this stuff fun again. Because Noggin had their little they had the fancy art style and all that with the buttons. They had a mascot Moose and Z. It was really cool, And I said Boomerang had their bumpers, and all that. Playhouse Disney had the kids. They had the kids laughing and giggling and all that, and the ads. It was fun, it was really fun. But they just don't do any of that anymore, and that's kind of what it is. A lot of these channels kind of are Nickelodeon here, where they kind of just, again, they kind of lost their touch. They just air the same crap. I don't know. I get that cable is not where it was at before. People are mostly going to streaming. I mean, even Dish. I don't know if you guys know remember Dish Network. Dish Network is kind of another one of those too that was popular back in the day, but it kind of got cut. My dad actually cut it years ago. He cut it back in 2015. It was cut back then. He had it for I think another an extra year because he was gonna cut it before that, but Kristen, his ex-girlfriend, he's had 1,000 girlfriends. Well, his ex-girlfriend, had was watching she was watching I think, what was it, football or something? I don't remember. I think it was football, and she had Dish and all that too, but then they cut that too because it was costing a bunch of money. That's kind of how a lot of this stuff is too, it's just like, I mean, that's probably why they're probably, like I said, they're probably not caring anymore about this stuff, but I'm like, I don't know, it just feels kind of weird, like I said, to rebrand something like this too and all, but they're doing a lot of that, so they're like, a lot of them are rebranding stuff, and they're rebranding, their channels and all that to like weaker versions and all that, and it just sucks. It really does suck, and there's unfortunately not really much you can do about that though, but I don't know. I don't know what to really say here, but I don't know. I'm just gonna, I just think, I don't know, I don't know what to I don't have much words for this, but, I mean, I like SpongeBob and all that, but I'm just like, why can't we just have, Nicktoons back to the way it was Nickelodeon, too, they can focus on SpongeBob, but, focus on other, content, too, and I mean, like I said, we're starting to do that, but, rebranding a channel to SpongeBob, and it's gonna air constantly, that's just kind of annoying, I don't know, to be fair, there's several seasons of SpongeBob, and there's over 300 episodes, because, we got that box set, I got that box set, so there's over 300 episodes, but, which, by the way, I would not recommend buying the 100 episodes in that box set, because it is a very shitty, unless you want the 300 the 300 box celebration thing like I did, then it's not worth it. You're better off just buying the sets separate, but you can get most of them on DVD. That's the thing. That's because they've released the set a few times. So it's you don't really need to watch it on cable and all that, but I don't know. But that said, though, that's pretty much all I have to say here. But yeah, I just kind of miss the way this stuff kind of used to be and all that. But it's kind of, again, it's what it is. It's just, I don't think it's gonna change anytime soon. It may never go back to the way it was, but we can always hope, especially with I mean, I think streaming's declining too, but but the thing is though, is cable and Dish were known for, having, like I said, these channels and all that were iconic. They played bumpers and all that, in between and all that. That's what was so cool. But anywho, guys, I'll see you all in the next video. I guess you guys can let me know what you guys think about this SpongeBob, rebrand channel. I personally don't care about it, but I guess we'll find that out. I guess you guys can let me know about that in the comments below, because I have other things I gotta do and other videos to make. So anywho, see you guys later. Bye bye.